Hey you guys, I've got a 10-minute game just popped up from nowhere with Disekai from the USA. 10-minute game, and they've started with E4. I'm going to go E5. This is unrated, so nothing to lose. And let's try... I don't know my Stafford theory, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go for this. See if we get that 4 knights trick, eh? Ooh, Ruy Lopez. Wow. Have no idea what to do. H6, A6, I think. And if takes a recapture. Okay, so this is, I think this is kind of mainline stuff. I'm going to develop my knight and hit this loose pawn because it's a loose pawn, and I did get to develop my knight. There's nothing complicated. Okay, I'm going to grab the loose pawn. Oh, yes I can. Yes I can. We could have rook or... yeah. So now the knight needs to retreat, and now that's not defended, but I can move here and hit this bishop, which brings me joy. Okay. There's threat of a... okay, I think... yeah, I can't allow knight takes knight hitting my queen and a discovery, so I've got to discover check, so I've got to take that. If rook captures, I can go here. If rook takes knight, bishop recaptures. It's a bit hairy, isn't it? I've really not faced the Ruy Lopez very much because I don't tend to play e4, e5. I tend to play the French, at least these days. I had to go with Scandinavian. It's like, yeah, it's all right, but I don't know. I've played more French, so I'm a bit more comfortable with that. Okay, so now I've castled. Queen protects bishop. I have no knights left. So I'm going to move that bishop, I think there or there. There. Because then I've got ideas of queen out and smash them in the corner. Okay. It's a threat. Maybe I should have built up a little bit more of a battery against the white king. It might be a bit premature. I mean, it's not like it's hard to defend, is it? G3. Queenie has to retreat. Yeah, you see, if I'd have maybe put my bishop on here first, looking down that diagonal, I might have had some ideas. But we'll try and do it in another order. This is at least a weakening move. And I still have... see, what it weakens is, because this pawn was here, it was defending these two squares. So now f3 and h3 are not defended. So my queen can quite happily squat on there for a little while, undisturbed by any light squared bishop. And look at these pieces. Ain't no development in the white camp. Okay, so I'm going to be planning this with my bishop looking all the way down that diagonal, and then queen g2 mate is the simple plan. My opponent's rated 10-15. Sent me a message saying, hey. I said, hey, you are being recorded. So play good. Plenty of time on the clock. Okay, I'm going to proceed with my plan. I'm kind of expecting this to come in and block the... we don't have cockles today. We have a Labrador making himself comfortable on a squeaky chair. Okay, so I'm going to play this anyway because I've got ideas of... oh, I could push a pawn. Let's push the pawn. So if takes now, I take back with the bishop, or take back with the pawn and then push the pawn. Okay. I can pin the knight against the rook. So what ideas you've got there? Of course, this pawn is currently defended once, twice, 3 times a lady. I can take out one of the defenders. I can, so takes, destroy the knight. I still don't have enough really against that pawn. So, is it time to change tactics? Let's change. Let's put maybe the queen here, bishop here, and go after this. That's doable. Trying to mix it up. Even got check there as well, yeah? You're trying to overwork this queen. I think this queen's got too much on her plate right now. Could even think about trading off rooks here and try and own the e-file. That's fine, that falls into my evil plans. Mwahaha. Trying to be as evil as possible. Alright, okay, well that's good. That's adding a second defender to the pawn, so no dice again. So how about now, count attackers and defenders. So I've got 1, 2, 3 attackers. We have 1, 2, 3 defenders. So let's say pawn takes, pawn takes. Still need to get shot of that knight, don't I? Okay, let's go in for the rooks. Because this A rook has lifted itself to kick the bishop away, which is maybe a bit of a wasteful use of a rook, because now he's stuck on the side there. He can't get into the game forwards. His own pawns are blocking him in. He's going to have to come all the way back here, wait for this bishop to move, which isn't going to happen anytime soon, and then join the game. So in the meantime, I'm going to try and cause trouble with this rook. If he takes, I simply recapture. Yeah. And then I've got control of the e-file. I need to improve this bishop. This bishop's looking a bit unhappy right now. I might even have to do something like this, add another attacker to this pawn. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers, and just try and overwhelm white. Oh. Okay, are there any tactics? Let's have a think. You can take there is pointless. It does let me advance the pawn. I think white may be slightly helping me here. So just drop my bishop back there. I then get to advance this pawn. Does that help? Maybe not. I've got to drop the bishop back anyway, I think. And there's no point, I want to keep it lined up against that corner, so. I didn't have to do that straight away. I could have actually initiated the rook trade. Now, if I capture the rook, let's think this through. I capture the rook, queen recaptures, yeah? That's taking off one of the defenders. So this pawn is going to be under-defended. It's only going to have 1, 2, and I'm going to have 1, 2, at least 3. So that should be my plan. So this is tactical plan. So it's called, the tactic is called deflecting the defender. Okay, the queen is currently defending this pawn, and the queen is currently the only defender of rookie rook on e1, yeah? So if I take that out, a queen captures, the queen is then vacating her role of the defense of the key d5 pawn, which is currently blocking my bishop from attacking white's knight. It's very unsporting of white. So that's the idea, okay? Remove the defender, well, deflect the defender. You can also capture a defender as well, in order to undefend or under-defend one of your opponent's pieces. 4 minutes. Disakai. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Rook is the only defender of that pawn currently. It's not a very good use of a rook, to be fair. Well, that does negate the tactic that I was going to do. So maybe they spotted that. If so, well done to you. Kudos. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3 attackers. One defender, 2 defenders, 3 defenders. That was the count of Sesame Street, not Gadmator. Just in case you're wondering. Do I do impressions of other chess streamers? Hello everyone. Or is that Stefan from Hanging Pawns? I think it might be more Stefan. And we have... He's got a lovely voice actually, Stefan. Okay, now, yeah, this is a decent move. Now my bishops are looking very dumb indeed. So what are we going to do? I need to mix it up. Got feelings I just got to take care of this pawn anyway. I know there's equal numbers of attackers and defenders, but I need to open up the situation here. If I hit that rook, yeah, could have pawn takes pawn takes. I think that might be a good idea, because then wherever the rook goes, it's only got the A file. So that's a poor rook. I'm going to emphasize that to my opponent, so that they learn to be more careful with their rooks. So now I could have like bishop takes pawn, and then bishop comes back to here, yeah. Three minutes on the clock now. My opponent's, played very, very solidly so far. Yeah, they're behind on time, but they're actually using their time pretty well. You would expect to be around this point, 3 minutes left on the clock, when you are like knee deep in the middle game. Okay, so we have takes, C takes B. Yeah, the pawn's looking slightly less comfortable. I'd like to put my queen here, but knight is stopping that. Anyway, so now the rook's attacked again, so the rook is going to have to move, and has to move somewhere on the A file, and then I've got bishop takes, which we like. This we are happy about. Gadmator actually was very kind to feature Chess Bootcamp on a new channel he's got, called Excellent Subscriber, something like that. Okay, well this comes now with a fork. Now I'm hitting the rook and the knight. So the question is, do I want to eliminate this knight? Because if so, yes, I get to put my queen here with check. Right, so let's get rid of knighty knight. Knighty knight, Mr. Knight. And now, because also the knight is gone, guess what? The epic fall of d5. Boom! I finally got the pawn that I've always wanted. And I think this rook move kind of hitting the bishop there, is turning out to be what's going to bite white. Okay, so what's the situation? I'm rich in pawns is the situation. My opponent's king is a little exposed. My king is happy. Snug as a bug in a rug, mate. And now I'm thinking queen here, queen here. That looks just like straightforward play. If rook there, doesn't matter, I go there. Okay, let's go in and try and go for the throat now. Notice, bishop on c1 has never played a part in the game. Develop all your pieces. So white is actually playing with a bishop that, as the saying goes, might as well still be in the box. Okay, and this, I fear, is a blunder. because now I can move my queen with check to a protected square, and the queen is now the victim of a discovered attack by the rook. And that will be, I think, the end of the game. If it wasn't in check, then white has queen takes e8, checkmate, but does not have that in this particular instance. Although after rook recaptures, okay, well, you still got there. So what have we got to do? Either check the opponent, which I've got one check, haven't I? Be living dangerously. I mean, the sensible thing to do now would be to create an escape square. My opponent has a dark square bishop, so maybe I want to do something like that. That's sensible. Are we feeling sensible? Let's figure this out. We're here to learn and we're here to have fun. So, queen h1 check. The king has bishop blocks is not an option. King actually has 1, 2, 3 potential squares. I don't think I've got a useful finish there, so I'm going to upset Disakai by denying them the back rank mate. So I do apologise. Actually, another option would have been bishop c6. That'd be quite nice. I'm going to play that now anyway, so it defends his pawn. Yeah, bishop c6 would simply have blocked off the rook's access to the back rank. So now I'm playing with a queen up against the rook and 2 extra pawns. And my opponent's only got 40 seconds. I've got 2 hanging pawns. Don't see the point of that, but I'm going to take this one. Gobble, gobble. No, I can't gobble that one. Can't gobble that one. 28 seconds. So next I'm going to plan to come over here. I don't need to do anything now to try and finish this game. In fact, no, I'm going to take that with check. That's the idea. Opponent says, sorry, I'm so bad. No, mate, you've done very well. You have fought bravely. Okay. Let's throw in a check here. Then I'm going to go check there, I think. Yes. A valiant effort there. So eventually we win on time. But unrated, so all good. Disakai, thank you for the game. I think you played well there. I think the key error, I do think, was that rook on the A file. But yeah, definitely very instructive, and I hope everyone who's watched it as well has taken something from that game too. So thanks everybody for your attention. Do really appreciate it. Leave me some comments. Always love to get comments, and I try to reply to every single one. Please also subscribe to Chess Bootcamp if you're a beginner, you're kind of intermediate, you're trying to get above 1,000 and beyond, then this is the channel for you. And that's it. Brilliant. Thanks for watching. See you later.